quick statement and jump into questions.
Yes, thanks. Definitely a tough one today. I thought we started off the game very strong. St. Louis is a high-scoring team, and defensively we were in a great position. First half, I thought we were flowing pretty well, and then unfortunately, it just seemed like that fourth quarter we really struggled to put the ball in the basket. Go 1 for 15 in the fourth quarter. It's a tough way to win ball games, especially against a really good team like St. Louis.
Gigi, going into this is a tough team and a good league opponent. What was kind of the message going into this, and what was our game plan kind of coming out, which we executed for a good portion of the game?
Our game plan was to limit their threes and to also go for 2 for 2 with them, and also to box out and contain number 40. So that was our game plan. We did pretty well in the first half executing that, but in the second half we kind of fell short.
Coach, like you said, aside from the fourth quarter, we've certainly since the Richmond game been on a nice little streak here. What do you think we've been doing well to kind of move this along?
I think, we've been able to score, in a variety of ways. We get the ball inside and get that inside scoring, and then it opens up things for our guards. Today a big stat, is obviously the 16 offensive rebounds that St. Louis gets. Again, when you're playing such a good team like them that can really score, you have to limit their second chance points. And as Gigi said, that was a really big point of emphasis for us so that we could get out and go. And unfortunately, when you're making shots, that helps, I think, a little bit, get your energy going. And today we just we struggled to put the ball in the basket.
Early in the game, St. Louis was struggling to put the ball in the basket. It seemed like the lid was on the hoop for them. That kind of give you guys a little confidence, get going, that they were off to a slow start?
Yeah, that definitely gave us some confidence. Again, we have to keep executing, though. I feel like we kind of got comfortable that, they weren't making shots. And sometimes when we were messing up on defense, they weren't making their shots. So we were kind of I guess, getting too comfortable, like I said, and it hurt us in the second half.
You guys got out-rebounded 55-33. Was that because of the height? Was it because they had so many good rebounders, or was it just a rough day for you guys?
You go into the fourth quarter and it's a 4-point game, and we're handling that. But then when I think when they came out and hit some shots, we started to get a little rushed. And I think part of that was letting up our on the offensive rebounds and not really staying as disciplined as we needed to do it. I thought, again, for 30 minutes we were right there with the top team in the league. But unfortunately, to earn that win, you got to be there for the full 40.
So you guys did do good against the preseason one for 3 quarters, even though y'all lost. What would you give you guys as a grade going against possibly the top team in the A-10?
I thought, again, they played hard. I think it's just looking a little bit more on our offense. What did we, what were those shots like? Were they good shots? Were they contested shots? We were turning the ball over. I think that's one of the things that if you can't get out-rebounded that and then also have 13 turnovers, that's just giving them too many chances to put up points. So we got to really go back and look at those turnovers and then again, figure out why we're not battling on the boards for the full 40.
Gigi, your team does a lot penetrating, taking the ball to the basket. When you've got an opponent like St. Louis with so much size, there was a stretch in the first half, and they had 6'4" and 6'3" down. It just seemed to make life really difficult for your perimeter people. It was hard to take it in and accomplish anything. What makes them so difficult to drive against?
Well, first of all, they play like a pack line defense, kind of like what we do. So they try to stop drives. They don't really come out to the 3-point line. So that's number one. That was the difficult part on that. Also, when we get too deep, we have to be able to make decisions. And I know sometimes I mess up on that, but we have to be able to know that if they're crashing on us, that we have to kick it out. And then also on the perimeter, we have to be moving off the ball. So if somebody's driving, we have to get into a spot where they can find us to kick it out. And if we, hit a couple outside shots, that'll open the lane a little bit more.
Beth, your impressions of that team? I mean, Kemp had sort of a pedestrian game today, didn't do a whole lot, but nonetheless, they just seem really solid.
I think this is the first time that Gigi got the opportunity to guard Kemp, and I think, I think she did a great job on her because I think on two sides of it, she also had to guard Gigi on the offensive side. So that, really put more pressure on her than I think other teams have done in the past. So that was exciting for us. That's a positive for us. And then, I think they're just very solid. They're well coached. They execute. And when you can shoot the ball that well from the outside and rebound, and you got that post player inside, they're just a balanced scoring attack. And that really takes a lot of pressure off of your defense. Because you can come down and really just find a pretty easy way to get a bucket. But again, defensively, you hold them to 60 points. That's where we wanted to be. Unfortunately, I expected our offense to run a little bit smoother in the fourth than it did.
Is there another positive that your bench outscored SLU's bench 20-17, especially when your starters kind of losing a little bit of the cold streak there?
Definitely, we talk about our balance and our depth. It's what's helped us in the last 3 games, and obviously it helped us today. Again, it's just taking that next step.
Beth, the rebounding difference, did you see anything technical? Anything tactical? Was it boxing out? Was it size? Clearly that's something you'll want to address.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, their post player that actually got, a couple of them, or, was number 12. She was coming in, and, you're focusing so hard on number 40, Stevanovic, to keep her off the glass, and then 12 got some, and then, number 4 did a good job coming off the bench, and that's a guard coming in, and, it's one of the things that we've been harping on for, since the break, about going out and meeting players, so that we're not getting, run into the rim. So it's something that we'll look at again, and it's something we do every day. It's such an important stat.